The MiG-29 ranks as one of the greatest military achievements of the Soviet era. Today, it remains one of the most advanced tactical fighter planes in the world. To demonstrate this extraordinary aircraft, the Russian Air Force is invited to participate at the prestigious Air Tattoo, an international air show held annually in Fairford, England. But no one can anticipate the disaster that lies ahead, as more than 450 aircraft from 30 nations gather to take part in the world's largest military aviation display. Dave North, editor-in-chief of Aviation Week and Space Technology, says the Russian MiG's acclaimed agility is due to its finely tuned control system.
It's got a pulley wire system that is very, very good and is very well balanced, so it's a very maneuverable airplane. It's a Mach 2 type jet. Mach 2 is twice the speed of sound.
Just outside of Moscow, Russian test pilot Sergei Trezvyatsky prepares his MiG for takeoff in a blinding snowstorm. He is one of two top pilots selected to fly in the English air show.
There is always an element of danger when performing high-risk maneuvers. We don't talk about it a lot, but the possibility of ejection is always in your head.
On the day of the air show, the weather in England is clear and sunny as Sergei and fellow pilot Alexander Beshosnov ready their MiGs for the big performance. For several minutes, they thrilled the crowd by passing within a few feet of each other at over 250 miles per hour. Then, the pilots position for the grand finale, a parallel loop. They'll fly in from opposite directions, heading directly for each other, to appear as if they touch in the sky. The crowd eagerly follows the maneuver. When at only 1,000 feet above the ground, something goes terribly wrong. Sergei's ascending plane instantly loses a portion of its left wing and spins wildly out of control. Alexander's MiG falls toward the ground. It bursts into flames as horrified spectators watch in disbelief. Emergency crews rush to douse the fiery debris that falls on many of the parked aircraft. The two pilots were able to eject from their aircraft. But ejecting at such a low altitude can be fatal. Eyewitnesses spot Alexander coming down fast. But he walks away from the hard landing with only minor injuries. Then, with a life raft dangling from his parachute, Sergei comes down in a field. The shaken pilot lights up a cigarette to steady his nerves. Miraculously, no one has been seriously hurt.
We had almost completed our entire program. Then, as we were going into our last maneuver, I received a radio message from Alexander that he couldn't see my position.
In this instance, if visual contact is lost, procedure dictates that Sergei ascend as quickly as possible to avoid a collision.
I tried to gain altitude to get out of his way, when suddenly I felt a strong blow to my aircraft. I attempted to regain control, but there was no response. Then I knew I had only seconds left to abandon the plane. I put my hand on the ejection handle and pulled, and the rest seemed to happen in slow motion, even though it took only a matter of seconds. It felt like I was taking a quick elevator ride up. Suddenly I watched the plane drop away beneath me, and I was thankful that my parachute opened.
Luckily for Sergei and Alexander, Russian ejection seats are among the world's most advanced.
All you have to do is reach between your legs and pull the ejection control handle. And that starts a sequence which first of all takes the canopy off the airplane and then rides up a rail about 6 feet or so. The rocket motor takes into place and shoots you anywhere between 100 to 200 feet out of the airplane. The seat separates from you and the main chute opens up.
Sergei credits their ejection seats for allowing both pilots to survive the terrible collision.
I thank our Russian ejection seat designers. This special seat can protect the pilot during any situation. It has saved so many lives and will continue to do so.
A special investigative committee later concludes that the crash occurred because of pilot error. But due to the extreme difficulty of this type of performance, neither pilot is held accountable. According to airshow officials, no one was hurt on the ground because new strict safety regulations keep performing aircraft away from the crowd.
The international rules now are very, very tight indeed. For example, it's no longer possible for participants to fly over the crowd line or even to fly towards the crowd line during the displays.
Today, Sergei and Alexander continue to work as test pilots at a Russian Flight Research Institute. They know that during high-speed air combat and flight testing situations, the loss of aircraft can happen. But thanks to the advanced technology invested in ejection seat design, the most valuable resource, human life, can be saved.